Okay, now we're ready to put on our exhaust manifold. I hope I did record that. Alright, so now it's time to do the intake. These bolts, bottom bolts on the intake are extremely hard to get to. Good luck. That's all I can say. It's good luck. So, note to self, put intake gasket on before head. Here we go, we got her. All right, now we gotta put our bolts on, our nuts. Do the 2-finger nut install without dropping it. What we do is we tuck a little piece of paper towel in it and we stick her back in where she goes. There we go. We're on. Yay! Alright, the rest of this is pretty easy now. Okay, so now we're gonna put our camshaft sprocket on. And this has a little keyhole in it, so it only goes to that pin. Put the bolt in. This is a 22 if I remember right. We'll go ahead and hit that with the impact. And yeah, there's a torque spec. And in order to torque it, you're supposed to hold on to that flat spot on the camshaft, which you can only reach if you pull all the lifters and everything back out. So we're not going to do that. We're just going to torque it in here. Like so. Then we're going to turn it. And there is a little hole here. And there's a little hole over here that lines up with. So what we'll have to do is turn until that hole lines up. And we're getting pretty close to it. And that will fit in there, and that's where our cam's going to go. Okay, so the timing chain's on the sprocket. I want to show you. There's a little dot right here. I put a little red mark on it with the pencil. But these two different colored cam links go over that dot. So the dot's centered in between the two of them. There's another discolored dot on the bottom where the crankshaft sprocket's going to line up. But we turn the crank until this pin goes in, and this drill bit is in here to help keep that centered. And now we're ready to go down and put this chain on. Your tensioner goes over on this side, over here. So you want to keep your slack towards the tensioner. And then we'll get the timing chain on, and then we'll put the guides back in, and then finally the tension. Alright, so in here we have our mark at the top right there. And we have this dot that's going to line up directly with that mark. Now, there is a discolored link, a black link, that's going to go directly at the bottom. So, that should be at the 6 o'clock position. And this should be at the noon position. And our camshaft's in time, so we're going to go ahead and turn that, and then we're going to put the timing chain on. And again, we're going to keep all the slack off to this side of the chain. Alright, let's go ahead and turn it. Okay, so now we're going to turn that crank so it lines up. Let me find my ratchet. There it is. Okay. We're turning so that dot lines up. Right there. So right in the middle of that groove, that dot's perfectly in alignment now. Now we're going to just attempt to put our chain on, if we can, and chain does not want to go on, so I may have to loosen the camshaft sprocket in order to get this to go on here. I think I am. So let me go loosen the camshaft sprocket and put this chain on the bottom, and then we'll try to put the camshaft sprocket on and keep it all in time. Okay, so my links are lined up there with my dot. My slack is on that side of the chain. That side's tight. My drill bit still fits in here into the dot just fine. And so now we'll go down here and look. We are dead on the dot there. And our link, our discolored link, is directly at the bottom. So the chain's a little bit slacky on the one side, so it looks a little different, but it's there. So now we're ready to put the timing chain tensioner back in. All right, so here's our tensioner, and the way this works is you just have to stick a pin or a drill bit or something in there to help hold this little lever out, because it ratchets down. You push down on that, ratchet it in, hold that out, and then that keeps it. And then we'll pull that pin when we're ready to put tension on it. It has a spring in it. Now, the spring just helps it keep tension at first. It actually gets oil in it. It gets oil pressure in it, which keeps it under severe tension once it's started. So that goes on there. Now, this goes over this tensioner. It has one round bolt that goes on it, and then it rides on this plastic part of the tensioner right here on that side of the chain. And then we have this guide that goes in there for the other side of the chain. So that will keep the chain under all the appropriate tension. Yes, I know these guides have some wear on them, and it would be a good idea to just buy brand new ones. Again, I'm doing this engine on the cheap. This engine's supposed to last a couple years. It's not supposed to last a lifetime. So, you know, it's an old 1999. All right. So I'm going to get this back on there. There's not really a lot of room to get the camera in there to show you how this goes, but basically you bolt the tensioner in after you bolt this in. Then before you release the tensioner, you bolt the one on the other side in, and then you pull the pin and release the tensioner, and you're good. Okay, there we go. Our timing chain's back on. That guide's there, and down there is our tensioner. I've removed the pin. This is the little guide that the tensioner rides on down there. And that's on, and everything is still perfectly in time. So we're set. All right, now we're ready to do a timing cover. I got to clean all the old silicone off of this and re-silicone it and get it back in there and get the bolts in it without messing it up and getting silicone all over everything. That's gonna be a fun job. Okay, so I've cleaned off my timing cover, put silicone on it. Silicone has to go around these. This got a little on the inside. Let me clean that out there. But that is your oil pump. So you want to make sure those seal. Silicone goes on that part in the middle, and it goes around all the outsides and across the bottom. And then I've also put silicone on the oil pan to mate up with this. This will be the tricky part, is getting this oil pump here to line up to get this to slide back and on. We'll just have to fight with it as necessary and see if we can get it on there. think we are ready to give it a test fire. Let's go ahead and give her a test fire and see what happens. I'm just gonna check the oil in it first. Yeah, we got enough oil. Alright, she runs. Sweet. And now I gotta back it up and get the pressure washer out and pressure wash the heck out of this engine and change the oil and all kinds of stuff. She's running a little rough there. I'm not surprised with all the crap that was in this engine, but she straightened out pretty quick. And alright, we're good.